Welcome everybody to my video sponsored by Dr. Pepper, even though I don't get any funding from them yet, but we'll keep working on that. It is October 24th, 2017, and my students have a test coming up next week. Because I'm kind of cool, I'm going to go over some of the, I'll do this couple problems a day maybe, but I'm going to go over this problem, which is going to be on the test for next week. So if you take notes, and I'll let you use the notes on the test. Boom, shakalaka. Also posted the test questions on the Facebook, Mr. McMurdo, 5th grade. This is one of the green card questions. The green cards that are due on the 31st for my students. So we're going to go over these, try and help you get good grades, maybe learn a little bit, I don't know, some such, whatever. Let's look at the first question here. This is probably number one on the test, if I remember correctly. And it says, a scientist conducting a dig spent $37.95 on 23 packets of hand wipes for her volunteers. What was the price of each packet? Okay, so she spent a total of $37, let's distinguish here, $37.95 total. And she bought 23 packets. So let's think about this for a minute. If she spent a total amount of $37.95 and she bought 23 packets, we want to find the price of each packet. We want to find the price of each packet. Is the price of each packet going to be greater than or less than $37.95? I can't hear you. Speak up. Correct, less than. Because she went to the store, she grabbed those 23 packets, she put them on the register, the person at the register went beep, 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 23 times, told her your total's $37.95. And so the answer, the amount for each packet is going to be less than $37.95. And we're going to take that $37.95 and break it up into 23 equal groups. If we're breaking something up into equal groups, we are dividing. Thank you. Dividing. So I'm going to take my divisor, which is 23, my dividend, which is $37.95, and I'm going to find my quotient. We're dividing with a decimal inside the dividend. The decimal point goes straight up. Straight up. Then I'm going to just take it one step at a time. Does 23 go into 3? No. I will not have a number above the 3. So it means each one is going to be less than $10. I already know that right now. Less than $10 because I have nothing in the tens place. 23 going to 37? Yes, it will. It will. So I'm going to have a number here. And since it's money, I'm obviously going to go out to the cents, the pennies. So I'm going to have in the single dollars, 23 is going to go into 37 one time. And I don't have to work out 23 times 1 because boom, shakalaka, I got it right up here. I've memorized my 23 times 1s. 23 times 1 is 23, and then we subtract, let's see, that's 14. Now I have to bring down the 9. Once I move my decimal point up, I'm done with it. I'm not going to slide it down and keep moving it and keep moving it. No, it's there, done, leave it. So now I have to figure out how many times 23 goes into 149. Well, I'm going to do some estimating here. And I'm going to say this is around 20 because I can count by 20s because I've seen $20 bills on TV, not for real life. I'm a teacher after all. So if I count by 20s and I want to see how close I can get to 149, I don't want to go over. But if I look at 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. So my answer is going to be around 7. So let's just try. We estimated that 20 times 7 is going to give me 140. Let's see what 23 times 7 gives me. Well, 23 times 7, if I did my math right, is 161. Well, it can't be that because that's greater than 149. I want to get as close as I can to 149 without being greater than 149. So 7's not going to work. So now I'm going to have, I know that I'm going to have less than 70 cents here. So now I'm going to be in, let's try 23 times 6. 18, 12, 13. Boom, there it goes. 23 times 6 is 138. That is less than 149. That is as close to 149 as I can get without going over. So we have 6 here. I don't erase this. Now I have it right here so that I don't have to redo it. 138. That gives me 115. 115. So now I know my pennies, my tenths place, or my 100ths place, because there are 100 pennies in a dollar. My 100ths place is going to be less than 6, because 6 was 138, and I want to get 115, or as close to 115 as I can without going over. So let's try 23 times 5. 15, 10, 11, and boom, shakalaka, exactly 115. So we subtract, leaving Joe? So that tells me each package, later man, each package cost $1.65. $1.65. I want to check it. I could always multiply $1.65 times 23. And when I'm done, when I do all the multiplication, my product should be $37.95. But when you have this on the test, and I believe this one's multiple choice, you're going to select the answer choice that has $1.65. Boom. Question number 1. You've got correct. If you paid attention to the video, if you wrote down your notes and you use them on the test. So for the 5 of you in each class that will do that, boom shakalaka, you're brilliant. Be kind to one another. All right, this is question number 1 on the green cards. All of the green cards kind of have a little bit of a theme to them if you put them all together. And the theme is understanding the remainder. You have to understand what the remainder is. Because this question, Susan is baking pies for a picnic. Each pie serves 8 people. There will be 35 people at the picnic. How many pies should Susan bake so that each person can have 1 piece? My answer has to be a whole number. Susan doesn't know how to make a part of a pie. You can't just make, I think I'm going to make this a half a pie. No, that's not the way pies work. It will be all over cattywampus if you try. It'll spread out, and then it's not really a pie, it's just a mush. So we have 35 people, and we want to figure out if each pie serves 8 people, we want to know how many pies to make. Well, so we have 35 people. We want them each to get 1 piece. Each pie is 8 pieces. Each pie is 8 pieces. So we want to figure out how many pies we need to make so all 35 of these people get a piece of pie. Okay, so obviously we're taking the 1 pie is 8 pieces, 2 pies is 16. I don't want to count all the way up to 35. That's way, whoo, that's, I mean, come on, who can count by 8 that high? That's crazy. That's just crazy. So I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide the 8 pieces of pie into the 35 people. Now this is where we get tricky, and some of the answer choices I saw were strange because you had people making part of a pie. All right, so 8 goes into 35 4 times. 4 times 8 is 32. Subtract, and I get 3. So I have 4 remainder 3. But like I told you, you can't have a remainder of a pie. That makes 0 sense. But some of you turned in 4 remainder 3. That's why when I posted the grades, you should have looked at it and gone, man, my grade was horrible, man. What should I do? And then you're going to want to redo it. So if she needs more than 4 pies, she needs more than 4 pies, but not more than 5 pies, because otherwise we'd have had a 5 remainder something here. So she needs more than 4 pies, which means she needs to bake 5 pies. She needs to bake 5 pies. So your answer is 5 pies. Not 4 remainder 3. That makes 0 sense. When you're doing problems, always go back and see if what you put answers the question. How many pies should Susan bake so that each person can have 1 piece? 4 remainder 3 does not make sense. Makes 0 sense whatsoever. 5. But you have to make sure that the question you're answering and the answer you have, what are you doing, December? Are you in trouble? No. After school detention? What? Or you have after school detention? No. Okay. So watch the YouTube tonight because we're having a test next week. And this is one of the questions, and I just went over it. And then this is one of the questions for the green cards, number 1, and I just went over it. So, boom, shakalaka, that's what I'm talking about. So make sure your answer makes sense with the question. You got to understand what the remainder means, and that's kind of what the whole point of these green cards are today. So, peace out. God bless. Love you. Please be kind to one another. Do something nice for someone at your house today. Love y'all.